Alrighty. Hello, what's going on, everyone? My name's Rockerzzoom. Today we're talking about Raw. Let me get centered. Raw review, July 2011, July 11th, 2016. And this Raw can be summed up in one word: decent. It's a pretty good Raw. Not the best one in a long time. Not by far. It was pretty good. Pretty good Raw. It was even across the board. There were some pretty low parts of the show, but there were some pretty high parts of the show, and I'll talk to you about that in my in-depth review right here for you. Okay. So tonight's Raw started off. It started off really odd with an Intercontinental Championship Battle Royal for the #1 contendership, but all of the contenders in the Battle Royal were a bunch of tag teams. Only notable singles competitors in there were Darren Young, Dolph Ziggler, Del Rio, Apollo Crews, Baron Corbin. That's it. All the other singles competitors were either very forgettable or in a tag team. And the other tag team partner was in that match. It didn't really make sense. I'm going to name off everyone in this Intercontinental title #1 contender Battle Royal for you. Bubba Ray Dudley, Yvonne Dudley, Connor, Victor, Apollo Crews, Simon Gotch, Aiden English, Goldust, R-Truth, Baron Corbin, Dolph Ziggler, Jimmy Uso, Jey Uso, Alberto Del Rio, Darren Young, Jack Swagger, Bo Dallas, Curtis Axel. See what I'm saying? A bunch of tag teams in an Intercontinental Championship Battle Royal. Now, this is making me scared for the brand split. Okay? Good old guy named JD from NY206. Subscribe to the guy. Probably going to link him down below because he's been talking about this for months now. The brand split is now not looking like a good idea. Because if there's anything to inform the universe that WWE is not ready for a brand split because of the size of it was this match alone. Okay. In this match, what should be seen are a ton of new talent hungry for that Intercontinental Championship. Maybe not as big of a battle royal as you'd expect, or as we got in this matchup, but at least give us hungry singles competitors, because there's hungry singles competitors in the back that work their asses off for the IC title that don't get anything, but these tag teams are in there. You split up Fandango and Tyler Breeze and give them their own singles pushes, they might go far, and they could go for the IC title, and that's just a shame that they're wasting away, and I'll get to that team in a little bit. But to get into the thick of this match, we're going to the ring, and it's filled with all the superstars already, with Apollo Crews making his way out. Apollo Crews is the only guy on the show with an entrance. No reasoning or no explanation of why all the superstars are in there, but you can just assume Battle Royal. Whenever you see that many superstars in ring, it's Battle Royal. Anyways, we don't know what it's for until a good minute or so into the broadcast, and Michael Cole is telling us Miz is Intercontinental Championship #1 contender, because they've been booking the Intercontinental Championship basically nothing, because the Miz has been off filming Marine 5. Again, why put the title on someone that's going to be gone for weeks? Whatever. WWE Intercontinental Champion The Miz is at ringside with Maurice, apparently for commentary. He stands on the announce table and runs his mouth, revealing that the winner will face him at Battleground. He wishes everyone good luck, but says it doesn't matter who wins. The bell rings and everyone goes at it. Aiden English is out first. We see Bob Backlund at ringside. Truth eliminates Connor, and that's all we see for the first commercial. And all of that happened very quickly. It flowed really well, and that was the only positive that I really had for this matchup. It flowed really well. Pacing was good for this matchup. Now, the contenders could have been changed around and made it more interesting, but I digress. There's a pro with this, and the flowing and the pacing of this battle royal was really good. And then we come back from commercial break. Devon eliminates Curtis Axel. Ziggler works on Del Rio. Truth and Corbin go at it. Goldust works on Young. Corbin eliminates Truth. Corbin eliminates Victor. Jey Uso tries to eliminate Jimmy Uso, but he hangs on. They both eliminate Devon. We go to commercial again. Okay. Already here, we got some good moments in here. Corbin looking strong. Goldust, okay, working on Darren Young. Returning Darren Young after months and months of promos, and he doesn't even get an intro. That's another thing. Darren Young, after months and months and months of promos with Bob Backlund, is just there in the ring with absolutely no entrance. Now, the one thing to change about the opening of this broadcast that I would have done, if there was one thing to change, instead of Apollo Crews making his entrance for everyone to see on the broadcast, have it be Darren Young. He's a guy that's been promoted to hell down our throats to get him back on TV. And if you're going to get him back on TV, at least give him an entrance for all of the people that you've been shoving him down our throats. Give them a sense of, finally, we don't have to see those promos again. Let us have that sense of, thank the Lord. But of course we don't. This is WWE. Anyways, back from the break, and Bubba drops one of the Usos while Miz and Maurice kiss on commentary, as usual. Bubba goes to work on Jack Swagger now. During the break, Ziggler eliminated Gotch. Bubba eliminates Jay. Goldust and Del Rio go at it now. Del Rio eliminates Goldust. Cruz eliminates Dallas. Swagger with the Patriot Lock on Uso. Young eliminates Dolph Ziggler. Young almost eliminates Dolph Ziggler. I have to reiterate that. And Corbin eliminates Uso and Swagger. Corbin right now is looking like a Battle Royal beast. Not only did he win the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, but they also did good on commentary by booking him good and telling him well, because he was saying that the commentary was telling us that Baron Corbin was forced them to put the Andre the Giant Battle Royal statue on the outside of the ring because he wants to intimidate everyone else in the match. Good selling on that part. Baron Corbin really looks super strong so far in this match. Bubba works on Young as Bob Backlund looks on from ringside. Cruz with a big crossbody on Del Rio. Then Young whips Bubba into a big boot from Corbin. Young eliminates Bubba. Corbin slams Young. Bunch of good work here. Flowing really well, as I was saying. Del Rio with an Enzinger on Corbin. Ziggler ducks a kick and hits the famous Run Del Rio. Good spot there for Ziggler. Really picked it up for him. Ziggler tosses Del Rio, but he hangs on. Del Rio with a tilt-a-whirl gutbuster on Ziggler. Ziggler sends Del Rio to the floor, but he went through the second rope and is still in the match. Again, there's also always that one guy, that one moment where the announcers have to reiterate, you have to go over the top rope and both feet have to touch. Every single Battle Royal, every Royal Rumble, it feels like you have to reiterate that. And for fans like me, fans like JD, like Joe Cronin, fans that watch the program so often, we don't need a reiteration of that rule. Just tell the fans before the match. You don't waste time. Don't waste time saying, oh yeah, he went through the second rope, gotta remind you. No, we're smart enough to know that if you go through the second rope and your feet touch the floor, they're not out. We know this, and we don't need a reminder every single time it happens. Corbin and Ziggler go at it now. Del Rio comes back in the ring and stops Cruz in the corner, but Cruz eliminates Del Rio with an assist from Corbin. Del Rio now, what I would have liked to see from him from that is if he would have taken a nasty bump on the floor after he got, sent through the middle rope. The cool thing would be foreshadowing, or that, throwback to Royal Rumble 2011 when Santino Marella did the same thing, rolled underneath the bottom rope, was, essentially gone until the very, very end and almost won the Royal Rumble. Should have done the same thing here with Del Rio. That would have been really cool. Something for Del Rio, because Del Rio's doing nothing right now. Have that's, little surprise. It's a cliche in Battle Royals and Royal Rumbles, but I like those moments. Sucker for them. Essentially. But, anyways, it's down to Cruz, Corbin, Young, and Ziggler, the final four. If I were to choose one person to drop out of there, I would have chosen Young, obviously. I mean, Young's, happy he's back. Welcome back. Don't thrust him into the title picture because he doesn't deserve it. He just got back. If anyone, I would have had, I don't know, Goldust. Jack Swagger. I would have Jack Swagger stay in there. Because I personally love Jack Swagger in the ring. I feel like if he gets the time on TV, he can kill it, becoming a 2-time world champion. That'd be great. Corbin and Ziggler end up on the apron. Ziggler goes back in and works on Corbin but Corbin grabs him and tosses him to the floor. Very strong. Cruz goes after Corbin now. Corbin eliminates Cruz, but they both hit the floor for a double elimination, and Young wins. Now he's the #1 contender for the Intercontinental title. And what I feel like what happened here, I don't think it was supposed to be a double elimination. Because how immediate Apollo Crews reacted in that negative way. I feel like it should have been Apollo Crews' win, especially since he was the only one to get an entrance at the beginning of the matchup. I feel like they were trying to, foreshadow he's going to be the guy who wins. And especially the look on Darren Young's face when he realizes, I won. I'm not sure if that was good selling on his part or just blatant, whoa, that wasn't supposed to happen. Now, there has been many moments like that in the WWE where moments like that have occurred. And, at times it's very jarring, but it leads to interesting stuff. And, this might lead to something interesting. So, Darren Young, your new #1 contender. I mean, I would have preferred Apollo Crews, give him something to do. Darren Young, whatever. After Battleground, he's probably going to disappear again. Moving on to Sheamus versus Zack Ryder. Before this, we had a backstage segment with Zack Ryder challenging Rusev for the US title, but then Sheamus knocking him down, blah, 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 blah. And it looks like we're building towards a Rusev-Zack Ryder match at Battleground. Anyways, Sheamus versus Zack Ryder, back from the break, and Sheamus is making his entrance. Zack Ryder is out next, and as we see the Spanish announcers at ringside, blah, 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 blah. Ryder gets in some offense, but Sheamus ends up hitting with a brogue kick out of nowhere and winning fairly quickly. Now, after the match, after Sheamus beats him, again, quickly, I'm not going to bury Zack Ryder, because Zack Ryder came back from the one-night Intercontinental title reign, and now he's on TV again, so what can bury him at this point? But after the match, Rusev marches down the ring, and instead of hearing Sheamus' music, you hear Rusev's music, and I would have expected more of a reaction out of Sheamus, but anyways, you hear Rusev's music, he comes marching down with Lana, and out of nowhere, you just realize this is actually going to happen. Rusev puts Zack Ryder in some pain, and then puts him in. I'm not sure if this is his new version of the Accolade. It looks more torturous. Like, I feel like the Accolade did need a facelift, because it was just essentially just not a camel clutch. It was essentially just a camel clutch, but now it has Rusev's own twist on it. Literally. But he screams he's accepting the challenge. So, I guess we are getting Rusev versus Zack Ryder for the US title at Battleground. More of my opinion on that for the Battleground prediction video soon. Then we move on and then it hypes up later on Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson with AJ Styles in their corner versus Enzo Amore and Big Cass. And then it goes back to commercial. We come back. Tyler Breeze and Fandango versus the Lucha Dragon. Now here is a match that I can clearly tell was really well put together. I really liked this match. It was mainly because Breezango, by the way, the announcers butchered Breezango so many times. They did not know how to pronounce it after how many weeks of being in the card. Anyways, Breezango works so well together, and they flush really well together. Doesn't mean that they're gonna go for a tag team title and win it. I highly doubt it. I don't see them going for WWE Tag Team Gold. What I see them doing is getting pretty close and getting pissed off at each other, breaking off, and then eventually clashing for a mid-card title, like a US Championship brawl. That'd be nice to see, because I feel like Fandango and Tyler Breeze one-on-one could be an interesting brawl, an interesting feud, just to so that they don't fizzle out. Because after this matchup, let's get into it. But after this matchup, man, they're looking pretty good, in my opinion. But we go to the ring, and in comes Tyler Breeze and Fandango. Sin Cara and Kalisto are out next. Back and forth between Fandango and Sin Cara to start. Breeze gets the tag out, but Sin Cara keeps control. Fandango comes back in, and they finally take control after some double teaming. Fandango with a 2 count. Breezango with quick tags as they keep Sin Cara grounded now. And Kalisto gets a tag and slips doing a springboard. One of the very slim botches that we get, and it wasn't even that dangerous from Kalisto. Kalisto is a very hard worker, and sometimes you mess up here and there, and it's very evident that he ended up picking it back up because allowing Breeze takes control from there, and then Kalisto comes back and drops Breeze with the kick, which looked to be the same form of springboard Kalisto was going for. And, he eventually came back and built it back up again. It's not like Sin Cara where he injured his finger and left the match. Anyways, Kalisto lands Breeze face first and takes out Fandango when he runs in. Sin Cara leaps out to the floor and takes out Fandango. And Breeze rolls up Kalisto for a 2 count. The end comes when Breeze kicks Kalisto in the corner and slams him from the second rope for the pin. Tyler Breeze and Fandango are the winners, which is pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy to see Tyler Breeze and Fandango win a match on Monday Night Raw. Now, if there's any tag teams to split up during the draft, it's these 2 tag teams right here. That's what I'm saying. If you want to put them in singles, like singles pushes, put them up. Especially the Lucha Dragons. We've already seen what Kalisto can do singles, and I can easily see him going farther. But I want to see what Sin Cara can do singles, because he was in the Intercontinental ladder match at WrestleMania, but he didn't really do much there. I mean, I believe he got a spot or 2 in, about it. But I want to see Sin Cara go for an Intercontinental title again, see if he can actually win the title, because Kalisto has proven it to us time and time again that he is worthy of a singles push. Let's see if Sin Cara can do the same, as well as Tyler Breeze and Fandango, because in my opinion, in their in-ring work, both of them can go for singles pushes and go far. Then after that good 2-on-2 tag team action, we get right down into Seth Rollins' talk show, The Rollins Report. This is just getting too far. I mean, Ambrose Asylum has its good moments. At some points, I believe Ambrose is worthy of a talk show, but the Rollins Report, are you kidding me? I mean, it led to a pretty funny segment of him interviewing Roman Reigns, and it was pretty good in my opinion. I liked it, but then after the whole Rollins Report, hopefully this is the last episode of it, I didn't like it. After it all, Rollins starts, declaring that Roman Reigns is not worthy, as he has been for a few weeks now, and fully agree with him. He is not worthy. WWE Championship match after being suspended. Like, no one else has been treated. Whatever. Anyways, right after that, during Seth Rollins is interrupted by Dean Ambrose, and he gets a pop, pretty good pop, and ends up coming out, and they trade back and forth with a promo, a really good promo between Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. I loved this segment of the show. I believe, in my opinion, this is my favorite part of the whole show. This was a great promo for Dean Ambrose. It talked about where he came from places like CZW, and, you know, working for plenty of promotions, and coming to where he is, and now he's the WWE champion. Just imagine how much blood he spilled, and just imagine how he did all that to get to where he is. Imagine that times 10 for him to retain the title. And this, I could tell, put Rollins scared in his boots. Loved Rollins and Dean selling that so well. And I really wish it was just a one-on-one match between Rollins and Dean at Battleground. But we are getting that matchup next week on Raw. I will be covering that, by the way. Next week on Raw, Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose one-on-one for the WWE Championship. It's gonna be crazy, man. One night before the draft, a championship match for the title between Dean and Seth. It's gonna be great. It's gotta be ending in a screw. It's gotta end in a screw finish. It's gonna be crazy. Anyways, that ends the whole thing. Then there's still to come footage of the New Day, the Wyatt family going to war, shown on this Raw, which is pretty exciting a little bit. And then we come back with Sami Zayn on commentary, getting ready, and we hear Kevin Owens' music hit, and then Kevin Owens doesn't come out, but rather backstage politics his way into Stephanie McMahon to kick Sami Zayn out of ringside. That way it's just Kevin Owens versus Cesaro, clean match. And what a great match between these two. It did end a little bit odd, a little bit fishy, but overall the whole match, really great and really solid. And of course, it's Cesaro and Kevin Owens, so they're going to put on a great match, as usual. And it's not really a matchup that we've seen 1,000 times, in my opinion. It's a matchup that's still great, still really entertaining, and I still really like it. I really can't wait for Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn at Battleground. Man, did Kevin Owens look so strong in this matchup, especially going into Battleground, beating Cesaro, and then the good Sami Zayn attack right after the match. This rivalry, of course, is going to be the best rivalry going into Battleground. Anyways, right after the match, we look more into Enzo Amore and Big Cass as they make their save on John Cena last week. And talking about AJ Styles points out how John Cena isn't even in Detroit. He's in LA at the rehearsal for the ESPYs, which he's hosting on Wednesday, and it's all building up to how it's going to be 3-on-2 tonight in what seems to be the main event between the Club and Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy. Huge, because they always talk a big game about the numbers game, Enzo and Cass do, and it's still a numbers game. Really intense going into it. This next matchup, really useless. Heath Slater versus Titus O'Neil. Blah, 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 whatever. Social Outcasts. Get off my freaking TV, man. I hate it so much. I absolutely despise the Social Outcasts, man. Anyways, of course, Titus O'Neil crushes Heath Slater. Slater actually gets some good amount of offense in, along with the Social Outcasts helping him a little bit. But overall, Titus O'Neil destroys, and he ends up winning with a big clash of the Titus at the end there. After the match, Titus stands tall and dances to the music, as per usual. Renee is backstage with Sasha Banks now, as she talks about tonight's match with Dana Brooke and says she doesn't get mad, she gets real. So to come what happened with the New Day when they visited the Wyatt family compound. And we come back to commercial, and then we come back from the break, and Cole leads us into a look back at last week's tag team champions, the New Day, addressing the invitation to the Wyatt family compound, and that whole doohickey that's going down there, and really interesting what's going on with the New Day and the Wyatt family. But I'm not sure if this whole Wyatt family compound matchup thing really sold it. I don't think this is the end of their fight. I believe that this is just build up to a WWE tag team match, or tag team title match at Battleground, where the Wyatt family might take the titles. I really don't know. But after a huge fight, really lots of shaky cam, couldn't really tell a lot of it going on. But after a huge fight with a lot of production value, of course, it's WWE to lead, or to go up against the final deletion of TNA. It ends with the New Day standing tall, about to attack on Bray Wyatt, and then out of nowhere, Roman and Rowan come back to his side, and a bunch of people stand up with lanterns, and then all we hear is the New Day run away with Bray Wyatt screaming, "Follow the buzzards." Really cool segment there, really confusing about what's going on. There's still a lot of heat there though, so I feel like next week we're going to get a guaranteed, yes, this matchup's happening in Battleground, because we didn't really get that guaranteed moment here where it was like confirmed, yes, they're facing off at Battleground. Really intriguing matchup there though. I don't know who would come out on top. I want the New Day to come out on top, but then again, the Wyatt family, after 2.5 years of being on the main roster, still have yet to pick up anything, man. Any gold. I don't know. It's however the WWE wants to take it. And it's the Club versus Enzo and Big Cass. And of course, you know, great work between these guys. It's a great performance all around. Enzo is really selling his ass off to the Club. You know, overall, I'm really loving this Enzo and Cass as the big face team now. Because now the New Day is looking on thin ice, and they might break up soon. So Enzo and Big Cass, if they do break up, are going to be that next big face team, and they are ready. They are so over with the crowd, it's not even funny, and it's just so crazy. And let's get right into this matchup. So before the matchup, of course, there's this whole Big Cass and Enzo talking smack to the Club, and then the Club talks smack back, blah 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 blah. AJ Styles talks about how John Cena doesn't care about Enzo and Cass. Enzo and Cass say they want Cena's spot, but they're going to earn it with respect. And the Club does not believe in that. Okay? And then, going into the matchup, Enzo's going on one-on-one with Anderson. They trade holds as AJ cheers the Club on from ringside. Enzo dodges the move in the corner and rolls Anderson up for 2. Enzo with a backslide for 2. Enzo again with another takedown to keep Anderson grounded. Styles keeps dueling chances with the chants from the crowd. Anderson turns things around and takes Enzo down for another headlock. Cass finally gets the tag and works Anderson over. Enzo tags back in, and they double team on Anderson. Enzo doesn't see Gallows get a tag, blah blah blah, you know, that type of work stuff. And Gallows comes in and does his amazing work. What a performer. And this all boils down to, you know, overall the match was pretty good tag match. Not as good as it should have been, honestly, but still pretty good. And I can't wait for the Battleground moment. The Battleground matchup can be good, but this matchup ends up being ending in DQ by AJ tossing Cass over the barrier with the to end in a disqualification. So Enzo and Big Cass go over by DQ. But then Enzo is laying down in the ring and he realizes it's 3-on-1 now, and then John Cena makes a surprise entrance, and then he gets a big pop in Detroit, of course, because Detroit's known for giving out big pops out of everywhere. And then John Cena comes out. Enzo, Cass, Cena, they all take their respective Cena, Cena takes Styles, Enzo takes Anderson, Cass gets Gallows, and they all take him out. The club is looking, Cena, Enzo, and Cass are looking strong against the club going into Battleground. I'm really liking this build-up. Build-up's looking pretty damn good. And the announcers hype up the Cruiserweight Classic hype. Can't wait to watch this. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be phenomenal. And then Vince McMahon. Oh wait, Vince McMahon returned like an hour ago or something like that. And then we lead into Sasha Banks versus Dana Brooke. This matchup was pretty strong. Was a pretty strong match to actually close on because this was the last match of the night. Sasha Banks ends up doing a lot of work on Dana Brooke. I ended up looking at JD from NY's tweets and saw that Dana Brooke botched something. I don't know. I wasn't looking specifically for it, but I didn't see her botch anything. If anyone noticed that, comment down below, tell me what it was. But I didn't see her botch anything, and it was a pretty good worked match all around. I liked the work between Sasha and Dana. It was pretty good. Good work by Dana. Still, man. She debuted 2 months ago. Still don't know what she's doing up on the main roster. I doubt she's ready. I really don't think she's ready. But anyways, pretty damn good match. We come back from a commercial break, and Dana, halfway through the match, is in control of Sasha in the middle of the ring. Lots more back and forth until Sasha drops Dana into the bank statement right in front of Charlotte. Charlotte tries to reach for her, and then Dana goes back for the bottom rope, but Sasha pulls her back into the center of the ring, and Dana taps out. Winner is Sasha Banks, of course. And then Charlotte says Sasha Banks, Dana Brooke 2 on SmackDown, and maybe, just maybe, she'll earn herself a shot at the title. So, I'm thinking on SmackDown it's going to be a screw finish. Of course, I'm not going to cover that because I don't really watch SmackDown. But, I'm thinking screw finish, and then that'll lead to another match on Monday, this time with Charlotte maybe, or Charlotte and Dana along with the tag part. I don't know. This could go anywhere, but it's gonna lead definitely to Sasha Banks, Charlotte at Battleground for the title. I don't think Sasha Banks is gonna get the title until at least SummerSlam, just to give Charlotte just that little bit closer to 1 year. But she's gonna end it right there. Anyways, right after that, we see Vince McMahon waltzing on his way backstage to the stage and to the ring. And then we see Shane O'Mac come out. Then we see Stephanie McMahon come out. And then Vince McMahon is already down there. And then we see this whole promo building up the draft and how Shane McMahon is now to be the COO SmackDown, and Stephanie McMahon is now to be the COO of Raw. My main flaw with this whole thing, for the weeks now and weeks that it's been going on, is I don't know why they're booking Shane and Stephanie fighting for SmackDown. I mean, sure, SmackDown would, them fighting for SmackDown is cool, refreshing, nice, nice refreshing start, but they should be fighting for the flagship 3-hour show that they want Raw to be. And of course, hopefully they cut it down to 2 hours, but that we've been complaining for that for months, maybe years now, and that's probably not going to happen for another while. But it doesn't make sense to have the two COOs now fight over the secondary show, the second longest running episodic wrestling television show in history. The second show to be made by WWE, always number 2 to WWE in their eyes. And it's just weird to see, now that they're trying to make a brand split, they were mainly fighting over who gets to have SmackDown over Raw. It just doesn't seem right to me. That's like two main event guys that can get the big WWE title, but they're like, nah, screw that. Let's go for the IC title. I mean, in many ways that could go good, but in many more ways it could go bad. So I'm going to sit back and see where this goes for next week's draft. I'm probably going to be covering the draft seat depending on where it goes, because that is the 3-year anniversary of Deep Sheep. But that was all of Raw. I'm not gonna rate it, of course, because I don't believe in rating a wrestling show really, especially something like Raw, like a weekly basis. But all I can say is that it was a pretty damn decent show. It's definitely worth a watch with all of the stuff that happened tonight. It was a pretty good Raw overall, and hopefully it's nothing as god awful as the 4th of July Raw that we got last week. And yeah, that's gonna be it for my first ever Raw review. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys like it, please do like, share, support, comment down below. What should I integrate more into the Raw review? Should I make a new whole overlay, or should I do something else to integrate into this Raw review? That'd be so helpful. Suggestions are definitely read and taken into consideration. Subscribe for more great content. I'll see you guys in the next one. Do me a favor, have yourselves a damn good day, and peace.